The last time CM Punk appeared on Raw, he tearfully announced that he will miss WrestleMania due to a torn triceps suffered during the Royal Rumble match. Tonight, he returned to the flagship show, live from his hometown of Chicago. What did the straight-edge superstar have to say, and did WWE's resident troll, Drew McIntyre, make his presence felt, further intensifying the hatred that exists between them? Find out the answer to that question and what other twists and turns awaited the top superstars in professional wrestling on the road to the showcase of the Immortals. Hey there, welcome everybody to Ridiculously Raw, the most must-see show on YouTube and StreamYard.com today. I am your host, Anthony Florio, joined as always by good old MF, Michael Fletcher, and the Phenom, Michael Bullock, of course, fresh off another one of our legendary Raw chats, and oh boy, did we have one tonight, let me tell you. Oh my. A lot of praise for tonight's show. And we'll get into why in just a moment. Monday Night Raw, the penultimate Raw before WrestleMania 40, from the IWC capital of the world, the All-State Arena, Chicago, Illinois, on the USA Network. And we started it off with an in-ring segment. The American Nightmare, Cody Rhodes, he cuts a promo, interrupted by The Rock. Yes, you heard it. The Rock. Not even advertised. Nothing in the dirt sheets teasing that he was in Chicago. Considering that we live in an era full of dirt sheets and social media and the whole nine, how The Rock got by us is beyond me. But nonetheless, he whispered something into Cody's ear. We don't know what was said, but all right, so this was a great start to the show. Enhanced by the mystery surrounding whatever it was that Rock said to Cody. A new layer to the story is a welcome addition, given the time left between now and WrestleMania. Cody said, "This city should know when I make a bet. I keep my promise," referencing the creation and sellout of All In back in 2018. He said, "I pretend to be the champion because the champion isn't here." He also said, "While I respect you, Roman Reigns, please understand I hate your guts." And The Rock's entrance is that of the megastar that he is. Instantly one of the best in the business. Great start to the show. And go figure, as great as this segment was, this wasn't even the segment of the night. That's how great this show was here tonight. There's a small part of me that wishes this was the go-home show tonight because we still got to do one more week of this in Brooklyn, in the Barclays. Oh,
another IWC capital.
Yeah, IWC capital is right, MF. So there's no question about it. If I'm going to be honest with you, this was the second best segment of the night here. Any other night, this probably would have been the segment of the night, but wait till you hear what happened and what was the segment of the night. That's all I'm going to tell you. So good old MF, Michael Fletcher, come on in. Cody cuts another promo on Roman. Rock interrupts him. We don't know what Rock said to him, but kind of shook him up a little bit. But second best segment of the night. So what a way to start.
It did. You want to talk about somebody who got shooken up? Yeah, Cody Rhodes got shooken. I don't know what Rock did. I don't know what Rock said, but Cody got affected. He got affected, and that was alarming. If you're a Cody Rhodes fan right now, you're kind of wondering, what did Rock say that prompted Cody to get that kind of reaction? Because not very often you see something like that happen. And you could tell Cody was affected. So now the question becomes is, where do we go from here? I mean, like you said, if this was the go-home show, this would have been the perfect way to close it heading into WrestleMania, and we still got one more week of this. So it's kind of like, how can you top it with everything that's been going on? The story itself has really been laid out, and there's really not much left that you can really tell. going into WrestleMania. You know, all the parameters are checked. Everything's been checked off the whole way through. Now the thing I want to know is, what did Rock say? That's going to be the $1 million question between now and WrestleMania. What did Rock say to Cody? Like, I got your back? Like, don't worry? Or what is he playing? Because now I'm starting to wonder, whose side is Rock really on? Is he loyal to the bloodline? Or is he out for business like usual for himself? Because that's the thing that I'm wondering. And that's going to be the thing that's going to determine if this is going to be, you know, history making for Cody, or is it going to be coming up short for the second straight year? Because the way this plays out is going to be very telling about the outcome of the main event on night 2 of WrestleMania. But, I mean, at the end of the day, there are more questions than answers, and now everybody's trying to figure this out. How is this going to play out? Especially since we're talking about Mania now. So, yeah, it's gotten very interesting. We'll say that. Michael Bullock, it's yours.
Yeah, I mean, like you said, any other night, I mean, this definitely would have been the segment of the night, but for this to only be the second best segment of the night, I mean, yeah, I mean, it's very telling. I mean, I'm trying to think of so many things of what The Rock could have possibly said to Cody Rhodes that left him rattled. I mean, we usually like to read lips, but in this case, we couldn't tell what was said there. I mean, so many things and like you said, we still got one more week of this, and who knows what they got planned for next week. So yeah, I mean, this was a well done segment here, but like you said, I mean, this is only the second best segment of the night. What segment is one better? Well, you're gonna literally have to wait and find out throughout this, but yeah, so many things to ponder here, so there's really nothing more to say. It is yours, Florio.
And how do you follow that? Well, our first in-ring match of the night, Ricochet squaring off against JD McDonough. Ricochet wins the match, 14 minutes and 22 seconds. MF, what a way to start the in-ring action here tonight.
Yeah, this was about 3 to 3.5 stars. A really solid opener for Monday Night Raw on the in-ring action. But holy backfire Batman was really the key of the match here. Ricochet, JD McDonough, and Dominic Mysterio were both at ringside, and they were working together. Everything was going correlation. Everything was looking good. Like, you think Judgment Day was gonna get the win, and then, oops, Dom made a fatal mistake. The ref caught him, and the next thing you know, well, you know,
You're
what?
Out of here.
Yeah, I was about to say it. I was about to set it up, and Bullock just undercut me and just stole it on me. Yep, Dom was sent to the showers a little bit early, and leaving JD to go one-on-one with Ricochet. And when you it's one thing to get thrown out of the building. All right, fine, you get thrown out. But when you get thrown out, and that guy who in the other side of the ring is half man, half amazing, Ricochet, Prince Puma, whatever you want to call him. You know what? You can call him. I hear the human joystick. I hear this guy. I hear the human pogo stick. Flipping the angel wings like he did at WrestleMania a couple of years ago. Whatever you want to say, that was what this guy does. He's a human highlight reel, Ricochet. He wins again. That's 2 wins already in back-to-back weeks over both members of the Judgment Day. And I'm pretty sure Balor, Damian Priest, and Mommy are probably getting a little annoyed with all this losing, especially from JD and from Dom. I don't know. They got some explaining to do when they get back to that clubhouse, because they're gonna want some reasoning, and they're gonna want an explanation of what the bleep just happened. But hey, Ricochet continues to be what he needs to be. Good momentum going into WrestleMania. Unfortunately, as of now, he is not booked for WrestleMania. That's fine. He's probably going to be. He's going to be involved. He's definitely going to be involved in some way on WrestleMania weekend or WrestleMania week next week as we start it. But at the end of the day, this was a solid match. So Michael Bullock, 3 to 3.5 for me. It's yours.
Yeah, 3.5 for me as well. I mean, this was a solid opener and a good win here for Ricochet. But yeah, for Dum Dum and JD McDonough, I mean, what's next for them? Because they got some explaining to do with the rest of the members of the Judgment Day, especially with the tag team champs and Mommy. And yeah, you don't want to be facing Mommy when someone from the Judgment Day loses, because it is not going to sit well with her. Because I don't know about you guys, but as far as I'm concerned, I think Mommy is the real leader of the Judgment Day. That's as far as I'm concerned. So nothing more to say. It is yours, Florio.
Absolutely. Ricochet made it 3-0 against the Judgment Day in recent weeks, defeating JD McDonough in tonight's opening bout. The match was a grueling battle, far better than anyone would have expected, even with the immensely talented individuals involved. Good, hard-fought match that kept the crowd invested thanks to the efforts of the superstars involved. This was the right way to start the in-ring portion of the show in front of a Chicago crowd that appreciates great pro wrestling. It also helps support the idea that Ricochet may be in line for a push in a post-WrestleMania WWE. Michael Cole actually said it on commentary, MF. You brought it up. Ricochet, quick as a puma. A wink and nudge to audiences who remember the one and only as Prince Puma during his Lucha Underground days. Ricochet delivered a poison Rana from the top rope and added the recoil, but Dominic put JD's leg on the bottom rope to break up what would have been a surefire 3 count. And Triple H just casually threw this match out there to remind everyone that JD McDonough can work. It is not just the laughingstock of the Judgment Day. 3.5 to 4 stars is my rating for this one. So, all right. Oh, here we go. As great as that opening segment was with Cody, this actually ended up being better. CM Punk. CM Punk comes out in front of his hometown of Chicago, cuts a promo, interrupted by not only Drew McIntyre, but also the World Heavyweight Champion, Seth freaking Rollins. Whoa. And we were doing a lot of that here tonight. So, Michael Bullock, what else is there to say? Segment of the night. Oh, boy. Did we have fun with this during our Raw chat tonight? Oh, my goodness. Bullock, it's all yours.
Oh, yeah. This was the segment of the night. I mean, yeah, that crowd erupted for CM Punk when he came out. And, yeah, he did drop some pipe bombs, but then it really got interesting when Drew McIntyre arrived and you saw him eventually rip that first shirt he had and had the other shirt basically trolling CM Punk. Then Seth Rollins came out and it really went back and forth, and then CM Punk decided what he was going to do when it comes to WrestleMania 40. He said he was going to be there, but what was he going to do? He's actually going to be on commentary during that World Heavyweight Championship match. So, yeah, so who knows what's going to happen when that happens. So, yeah, segment of the night, Florio, we literally ate this thing up.
Oh, did we ever? Oh, man. I know if MF was with us, he would have ate it up just as much as we did, but oh my goodness. Whoa. Okay. CM Punk returned to the Allstate Arena to a thunderous ovation as expected and wasted little time sparring with number one contender Drew McIntyre and World Heavyweight Champion Seth freaking Rollins. The three top stars threw verbal bombs, insulting each other as the crowd in Chicago ate it all up. There were personal digs, humorous quips, and emphatic expressions of dislike before culminating with the revelation that CM Punk will join the commentary team at WrestleMania when the Visionary defends against the Scottish Warrior. A visibly agitated Rollins delivered a curb stomp to McIntyre to close things out. This was great. There was clear ad-libbing, some great back and forth, and the crowd was there for all of it. This felt like a big-time segment, setting up a big-time match, exactly what a segment 2 weeks out from the biggest show of the year should be. Punk teased being a quote-unquote impartial referee for a championship clash at WrestleMania. The hometown hero recalled his 2013 promo on The Rock, reminding him that his arms are just too short to box with God. McIntyre said, "You're my muse, man," claiming his workouts are more intense when he thinks about Punk. And then McIntyre said, "You don't do drugs, you don't drink, but you spend all your time in rehab." And then McIntyre was referred to himself as the chosen one. And then Punk asked, "Who chose you? What's his name?" Referencing a former chairman of the board, labeling him the chosen one. "You want to know what I think, Punk?" "Nope." And Rollins told Punk, "You need me to have a moment at WrestleMania." Yowza. Absolutely fantastic segment here. This is right up there for segment of the year. It's right up there. I'll say it like this. This was the Raw segment of the year. There's no question about that. It ranks right up there with that segment when The Rock laid down the tag team gauntlet. We all remember how excited we were about that when Rock laid down the stipulations for that tag team match for WrestleMania. But this is the Raw segment of the year, and it definitely is right up there with that one. No question about it for overall segment of the year. This was absolutely fantastic. Man, if this had been the go home show, oh my gosh, this would have been unbelievable. But again, I say we still have one more week. Oh, Brooklyn, Barclays, brace yourself. So there isn't anything else left for me to say. MF segment of the night, and for right now, for 2024 so far, the Raw segment of the year, unbelievable.
Yeah, no, this is as good as it's gonna get, and you cannot say anything better than what they did. That segment was absolutely just fire the whole way through. CM Punk was amazing. Drew McIntyre played really well, and I love how Punk tried to stop the music on McIntyre. He's like, nah. This isn't gonna. You're not getting this. Nobody cares. Come on. Get in the ring. And the thing is, the whole day, Drew McIntyre's been thumbing it in the face of CM Punk the whole way through since literally jump. And you want to know why? It's because Drew is just playing that villain role. He's embracing the fact of being the SOB to be the thorn on CM Punk's side. Trust me. He's already got quite a few people very loyal to CM Punk, a little bit hot under the collar here tonight. And I know for a fact that the way McIntyre played the role tonight, somebody's getting their butt kicked for this. That's all I'm saying about that. I will say this though. This was as good as it got. I loved Rollins coming out. That was, Rollins coming out yelling, "Hey, wait a minute. What the hell you guys doing making decisions that's pertaining to WrestleMania without me involved? I'm the World Heavyweight Champion here. So what the hell is this crap?" And like you said, it was well done. And I love the heat between Punk and Rollins. At some point when Punk is fully healed and is good to go, you can see Rollins versus Punk. You can see McIntyre and Punk because they're already lining it up. There's already 2 matches already right out of the gate that CM Punk will get to have when he returns to the in-ring action very soon. He'll get to fight with Seth Rollins. He's going to get to fight with Drew McIntyre. And most likely, one of these 2 men is going to be the World Heavyweight Champion heading into that fight. And if that's the case, we're looking at Punk possibly getting an opportunity to become the heavyweight champion of the world. Oh, by the way, he is a 2-time world heavyweight champion in his career in WWE. This would be a 3-peat for CM Punk if he should be able to win that title. So this would be the first time with this new iteration of the World Heavyweight Championship. But overall, this would be his 3rd World Heavyweight title if CM Punk is able to pull it off and win this title. So we'll wait and see how it plays out. But like we said, this was amazing. Would I mind love seeing CM Punk in the broadcast booth? Absolutely not. CM Punk is money. He is amazing in the commentator role. And you know what? I think he would do really well. Imagine him with Pat McAfee or Corey Graves on the broadcast booth at WrestleMania. Oh my God. I could only imagine what Punk will do in the broadcast booth at WrestleMania. That must be must-see TV. You might have to get the popcorn ready for that one, baby. So I don't know. But McIntyre versus Seth, that was really amazing. We got that going. They added yet another element to that. And then, of course, with CM Punk being in Chicago, being his home turf, he even said it. Yes, this might be Monday Night Rollins, but you're in my city. This is my town. Well played, CM Punk. And trust me, there was 15,000 fans that totally agreed that this was your town. That Chicago is Punk country. No ifs, no ands, no buts about it. Allstate Arena is CM Punk territory. You go anywhere else, who knows? You go to Chicago, you're second fiddle to CM Punk. Punk is the star. He is the moneymaker. He's the reason why we had that change with the staging tonight on Monday Night Raw. We went back to the Survivor Series setup more than anything else. So yeah, nothing more to say. Florio, it's yours.
Oh man. A lot of people said that the first hour of tonight's show is one of the best first hours that has been done in quite some time. And you You want to find a way to kill a crowd after all that? Well, send out a dud women's match, and that's exactly what we got. It was a ho-hum diva fight, no doubt about this. Ivy Nile versus Candice LeRae. Candice LeRae wins the match, 1 minute, 49 seconds. The match, if you could call it one, ended with Candice faking an injury, then stacking Ivy up and putting her feet on the ropes for a cheap roll-up win. This continued LeRae's heel turn, but was allotted such little time that it felt like an afterthought more than a meaningful segment. Absolute dud. This is hands down the worst fight of the night. So not much. We're not even gonna dignify that. Next up, we had DIY versus the New Day. Fight ends in a no contest in 6.5 minutes. The Judgment Day laid out everybody. You know, this was the purpose of this was really for it to serve as a quote unquote appetizer for that 6-pack ladder match for the Undisputed Tag Team Championship at WrestleMania. So nothing to really speak of here. So it was an NA. So we're gonna bypass that as well. But we will most certainly get into this one. Andrade squaring off against Imperium's Giovanni Vinci. Andrade wins the match, 7 minutes and 8 seconds. Originally, Andrade was scheduled to face Ivar of the Viking Raiders, but at the last minute, they said Ivar was not medically cleared, so they put Vinci in there instead. As far as DIY and New Day goes, like I said, it was hype for the 6-pack ladder match at WrestleMania and little else. Judgment Day stood tall to put over their dominance, which is essential given the fact that it feels very much like Finn Balor and Damian Priest's reign is coming to an end. So we're not even going to go into it any further. Andrade and Vinci, Andrade in 708. Like I said, Andrade was originally slated to battle Ivar tonight, but the big man was not medically cleared to compete, resulting in him squaring off with Giovanni Vinci of Imperium instead. Another good competitive bout saw El Idolo score the win and continue to build momentum. The second-generation competitor is back at a time where there is no obvious place for him on the WrestleMania card as of yet, but building him through strong in-ring performances will buy them time and create goodwill among fans while Triple H and the creative team decide what they want to do with him in the wake of the event. The opening chop from Andrade stunned Vinci and sounded like a firecracker exploded. That's really all I can say there. So, solid 2.5 stars for this. MF, I know you talked about it the other night, Friday night, when we did the Cerebral Smack Talk. Bullock was not on that show, but I know you had a scenario for Andrade for WrestleMania.
Well, I did have a scenario for it because of what happened on SmackDown on Friday night, where I was thinking that it might open the door for us to witness Andrade and Rey Mysterio to team up against Dominic Mysterio and Santos Escobar of Legado. But now, after what happened tonight, it kind of feels like I don't know where they're gonna go with this. That was the original plan. That was the original idea. That was what I was hoping for. But now I kind of feel like I don't know where we're gonna get. It's kind of one of those type of situations where, I'm kind of hoping for, but you never know how this is gonna play out. But one thing's for sure, this is going to be a very interesting situation. So, we'll see how it plays out. But yeah, this was, look, you know me, you know how much I love Andrade, and what I've been seeing is really good. I hope we keep the momentum going, and I hope we do get to see greatness upon us. Of course, that's just my thoughts and sentiments. But yeah, it was a 2.5-star bout. Andrade keeps the hot hand going. Michael Bullock, it's yours.
Yeah, I'll give this about 2.5 stars. I mean, Yeah, it's a nice win for Andrade, but yeah, I mean, I did hear of your scenario, Fletch, but yeah, I don't know if they're really gonna go through with it, but we gotta keep an eye on SmackDown regarding the Ray and Santos situation to see if it does happen. But like I said, we'll keep an eye on it. But 2.5 stars is my rating. It's yours, Florio.
All right, and here comes another fire segment here tonight. MF right on cue. The women's world champion Rhea Ripley, Dominic Mysterio out there with her, interrupted by Becky Lynch and MF. There's nothing left for me to say except Rhea went there, and we were waiting for some sort of explosion for this particular bout. We got it.
Yeah, I mean, Rhea, you messed up, girl. You messed up. You went. There's certain things you can get away with. That's not one of them. You went there. You crossed a line, and you provoked the man, and that's exactly the last thing you wanted it to do. You don't ever, ever, ever poke the bear and expect that something's not going to happen to you. Sure enough, she went full on nuclear and went right after. And quite frankly, I love it. You know how much I've been digging Becky Lynch. You know how much I love the man, and we'll wait and see how it plays out. But man, this is going to be wild. This is going to be wild, and this is going to be very interesting to see. So, yeah, at the end of the day, we'll see how it plays out. But yeah, they went there, they threw some bars, and here we go. So, Michael Bullock, it's yours.
Yeah, I mean, I would have to say that this was like the third best segment of the night here. I mean, yeah, but man, Rhea, there are just some things you just don't do. I mean, you can talk crap about Becky all you want, but as soon as you mention Becky's daughter, Rue, that is what crossed the line. And Fletch, I know you already said it, but remind the folks what happens when you poked not just the bear, but an Irish lass kicker.
Oh no, it does not end good. You wanted Becky Balboa, you wanted the eye of the tiger, you got it. And
Yeah.
Rhea, that's the thing. You even said it, but like, it's one thing to go after the man. You could even poke fun about Seth freaking Rollins. She's like, yeah, okay, fine. The minute she went out, she said something about her daughter. Nope.
Nope.
That's when Mama comes out, and I think the one person who knows this better than anybody else would be Dee Dee Woodson. You can say anything about her, maybe, and maybe you can get away with sometimes. I don't know for sure, but you might even get away with poking a little fun at her husband. But the minute you say something about her children, you're done. You're dead meat. And and that's exactly what happened in this instance. Is that Rhea went there, she talked about Rue and Bullock, and I know. The minute you talk about family, that's a big fatal mistake.
That's a big no-no. A big no-no there. And Becky just went full-on Irish lass kicker, the man mode, and just first unloaded on Dominic, and then her and Rhea went at it. So much so, you had the referees coming out and try to stop this. And all I can say is, guys, this match just became personal. The moment Rhea mentioned Becky's daughter, I mean, yes, this is about the women's world title, but damn it, this is very personal now. Because if you think the man's going to take this lightly, you are sadly mistaken. I mean, yeah, and Becky reminded Rhea the hard way. So, third best segment of the night. Florio, as we always like to say, you can talk crap about anybody, but as soon as you mention anybody in a family,
yeah, it's on.
That's an absolute no.
Absolute no. Absolutely right. This was more like it. Becky Lynch and Women's World Champion Rhea Ripley have had several face-to-face confrontations. Tonight, they saw their rivalry intensify. The Eradicator, inciting the name of the man's daughter, turned the volume up to 10 before a brawl between the champion and challenger resulted in a pull-apart. The strikes were hard and fast. The emotion in Becky's voice and on her face as she talked about her late father not being able to meet her daughter and the reaction of the fans elevated this segment. On a night in which we saw great work from CM Punk, Drew McIntyre, and Becky's husband, Seth Rollins, this segment proved the women were not willing to take a back seat. They delivered the goods here and sold fans on their encounter. Becky asked, "You don't wrestle on Raw, do you?" knocking Mommy's lack of in-ring appearances on television. Rhea said, I can just post a picture or a video online and watch these freaks eat it up. Ripley acknowledging that she doesn't have to wrestle to get fans' attention. And recent history suggests he is not wrong, especially after what she did to Nia Jax at a house show this past weekend. And then Ripley said, "I want you to listen to her call me mommy," telling Becky that she wants her to watch the champion with her daughter. Yeah, that did it. So, another great segment here. 3 money fire segments here tonight. So, that was very well done. Sami Zayn versus Big Bronson Reed. Big Bronson Reed wins the match 9.5 minutes. Michael Bowick, oh boy, Sami Zayn. This is not good for Sami heading into his Intercontinental Heavyweight Championship match against Gunther at WrestleMania.
Yeah, this is something that this couldn't happen. I mean, it was a good match. I'll give it about 2.5 to 3, but man, this was not the kind of thing for it to happen to Sami Zayn. I mean, going into his Intercontinental Championship match, and maybe the biggest match of his career as he looks to try to end the historic reign of Gunther. I mean, if you're Gunther right now, you're probably like, man, I'm liking what I'm seeing. But as you saw later on, I mean, Chad Gable, it's almost like he's trying to act like a motivator or something. I mean, it's like he's trying to fire up Sami Zayn. So we'll see how it makes with all this. But yeah, 2.5 to 3. But man, Florio, I don't know if this was the right call here, because you want to give the challenger some momentum going into this, and this certainly did not help him.
No, not at all. Solid 3 stars for me. Bronson Reed actually won a match. The big man capitalized on the presence of Intercontinental Heavyweight Champion Gunther and the distraction it caused to put away Sami Zayn with a tsunami, halting the popular babyface's momentum and winning him some of his own. Gunther had planted the seeds before the match, telling Kathy Kelly that he did not believe Sami Zayn could beat Bronson Reed. He had to prove his words accurate by any means necessary, and in the process ensured that Sami Zayn would not roll into WrestleMania with a wave of momentum behind him. He did, enhancing the story behind the champion and challenger in Philadelphia. Gunther made his presence felt, momentarily distracting Sami Zayn. Bronson Reed turned Sami inside out with a hell of a clothesline to counter the Helluva Kick. He added a running senton to set up the tsunami. So, solid 3 stars for me. MF, oh boy, like I said, Sami not good, especially this close to Mania.
No, and like you said, that was a monster win for Bronson Reed, man. He hasn't had that many big moments, but my God, that's as good as you're going to get. A big win for him, impressive victory, and yeah, I don't think there's really not much for us to say right now, but this was a good. It was about a good 2.5 to 3 star bout. I'll say that. I thought they did a really good job with it. So yeah, nothing more to say. Anthony, it's yours.
All right, main event of the evening. But before we get into that, let's set the table for WrestleMania Raw, which will eliminate live next Monday night from the Barclays Center in Brooklyn, New York on the USA Network. We're going to have an 8-man tag team match. The New Day and DIY to square off against all 4 members of the Judgment Day. Finn Balor, Damian Priest, the tag team champions, along with Dominic Mysterio and JD McDonough. 8-man tag. We already knew The Rock was coming. But guess what, boys? The Rock's not coming alone. Cousin Roman is coming with him. That's right. The Tribal Chief, the undisputed WWE Universal Champion, Roman Reigns, along with The Rock. They are going to be at the Barclays next Monday night. That and a whole lot more. Oh boy, that's all I can say on that. Now we get into the main event of the evening. Main event, Jey Uso squaring off against Shinsuke Nakamura. And main event, Jey Uso wins the match, 7 minutes and 33 seconds.
Yeet.
Yeet. Yeet is right, Michael Bullock. You got it. Of course, Pat McAfee doing the what I call the Yeet dance, which is now the new Shinsuke Nakamura and Rick Boogs that he used to do a few years ago. But all kidding aside, you would think, okay, that's it. 7:33, not much of a match. Oh no. There was a lot of extracurricular activity after this match was over. We saw Cody Rhodes brawling with Jimmy Uso and then Solo Sikoa. And then out of nowhere, The Rock comes in and The Rock beats the ever-loving you-know-what out of Cody Rhodes, leaving him beaten, bloodied, outside in the cold and the rain of Chicago, Illinois. Yes, it is technically spring, friends. Yes, it is. But there's still that lick of winter in the air, man. And you saw it. It was cold. It was raining. And Cody got the you-know-what beat out of him by the Great One here tonight. A lot to dissect here. First, the match. Well, 2.5 for the match. Good match culminated with Jimmy Uso and Solo Sikoa making their presences felt only for Cody Rhodes and Seth Rollins to fight them off. Drew McIntyre hit the ringside area and laid out Seth Rollins with a future shock DDT on the arena floor. Back in the squared circle, Jey Uso delivered a spear on Shinsuke Nakamura for the win. The brawl between Cody Rhodes, Jimmy Uso, and Solo Sikoa continued backstage before The Rock attacked the American Nightmare. He beat him down, berated him, talked trash about his mother, and repeatedly threw him into Cody's travel bus. He bloodied Cody, smeared the crimson onto a special weight belt that read Mama Rhodes, and closed the show by talking trash. Has anyone competed in as many TV main events leading into the biggest show of the year as Shinsuke Nakamura without being scheduled for a match of any kind at WrestleMania? The show closing beatdown by The Rock was probably longer than it needed to be, but it was so different from everything else on the show that it left an impact on viewers and set Cody Rhodes up for the big, fiery babyface spot on next week's Go Home show. Blood and F-bombs to close out Raw. Fans everywhere will question if WWE is changing its approach to its content. If there was one night where there may have been legitimacy to those questions, this would be it. 2.5 stars for the match. So match. I mean, not much of a main event. It felt like a house show main event, honestly. But what happened afterwards? Oh, man. Oh, boy. There isn't anything else left to say. MF. Yeah, the main event, like I said, felt like a house show main event, about 2.5 stars between Jey Uso and Nakamura. But the lasting image of Cody Rhodes beaten, victimized, bloodied by The Rock in the cold and the rain of Chicago, Illinois. Oh my God. MF, what do you make of all this? What I don't know, man. I mean, that was wow.
I'll take it.
Well, all right. Looks like MF might have stepped away for a moment. So while we wait for MF to come back in, Michael Bullock, we sat there. You and I sat there during our Raw chat. I mean, well, obviously on the phone, of course, but we both sat in our respective homes. We saw this happen, and the only thing that as I always say it. So that happened.
Yeah, that literally happened. I mean, my goodness, that was. I mean, first of all, 2.5 stars. Yeah, it did feel like a house show. But man, oh man, I mean, what happened afterwards? I mean, yeah, Cody got the best of Jimmy and Solo, but The Rock, he beat him up, he victimized him, bloodied him up, and during all that, he was literally talking trash, threw a lot of F-bombs, and yes, he bloodied him to the point that he said what he was going to do. He was going to bloody him, which he did. And then he took the blood and put it on that belt that said Mama Rhodes. Man, this is real. You want to talk about Becky and Rhea getting personal now? This is taking the whole personal thing to a new level. And it continues to show why The Rock is doing his absolute best as a heel. I mean, there are some out there that are going to continue to question, wait a minute, if we can't do any of these non-PG things, how come The Rock is getting away with it? I mean, who knows? I mean, that I'm sure that's going to continue, but yeah, I mean, what a way to close out the show, but I mean, I don't know if MF is, but Fletch, man, oh man. Cody Rhodes got beaten, bloodied, and the blood ended up on that belt. I mean, The Rock is taking this whole personal thing to a whole new level, and it's going to continue to raise questions, Fletch, of how is The Rock continuing to get away with all this non-PG stuff that's going on?
I was gonna say that, and I definitely would have made some kind of thing about it, but the way I kind of feel now is that tonight, if you think about it, just this whole night in Chicago, I think WWE is starting to break away from the PG era. From the promos by Punk, Rollins, and McIntyre to the chaos that we saw here tonight, there's a lot to talk about and there's a lot to decipher, and I kind of feel like now more than ever it's getting more personal and more real, and it's an oh my goodness type moment than anything else. So yeah, I mean, there's really nothing more to say, and the main event was good. It was about 3 to 3.5, but I hate to say this, but I think the match itself was actually overshadowed by the chaos that happened outside of the ring. So, Florio, it's yours.
Well, MF, keep your mic on because you lead off on our overall review. Met a lot of people on social media calling this the Raw of the Year. Do you agree with that?
As far as it being the Raw of the Year, I have to say yes. I mean, other than one dud fight, this was as close to a perfect 10 as you're going to get. It's 9.5 out of 10. Without a doubt, it is the Raw of the year. You could even say that this is WWE's personal best. This is, without a doubt, their best episode of Monday Night Raw in, man, I probably say since Triple H has taken over. This had to be the best Monday Night Raw of the Triple H era. No doubt about it in my mind. And yeah, I mean, the momentum going into WrestleMania, the momentum is so sky high for WrestleMania. I don't even know what to even say at this point now. So, yep. There's really nothing more to add. And Anthony, Michael Bullock, it's yours.
Yeah, I'll say it too. I think this is a 9.5 out of 10. I mean, yeah, I mean the only not so good thing was the women's match. But yeah, you had the tag match as a NA, but everything else I thought was really good. I mean, the 3 promo segments I think were the ones that really hit it out of the park tonight. And the ending that really, I mean, man, this is something. So 9.5 for me. So Florio, it's yours.
Definitely. Not. I'm gonna meet you in the middle. 9 to 9.5 out of 10 for this show tonight. Tonight's show was one of the best episodes of Raw in the last decade. There was a sense of urgency from the opening promo all the way through The Rock brutally assaulting Cody Rhodes. Everything meant something within the context of ongoing stories or hyping up the WrestleMania card. The stuff from CM Punk, Drew McIntyre, and Seth Rollins was the best segment of television WWE has produced this year, while Becky Lynch and Rhea Ripley brought it in their in-ring promo. There was quality in-ring action, hot angles, and the show felt like a genuine setup show for the biggest event of the year. This was what every week can and should look like in WWE. 9 to 9.5 out of 10. I couldn't agree with you guys more. And with that being said, we will move on now to my Tony's take, and it will be, and you know how we do it as we always do. We got Impact Wrestling and we got NXT Level Up, and man, I'm just give me a moment here as I track down my notes here for Impact Wrestling and then an NXT Level Up. And all right, so of course, Impact Wrestling, another taping from the St. Clair College in Windsor, Ontario, Canada, started it off with a 6-man scramble match, I guess, for a future X Division Championship match against Mustafa Ali at the Rebellion pay-per-view. Leon Slater versus Chris Bay versus Alan Angels versus Jason Hotch versus Kevin Knight versus Jake Something. Jake Something wins it 10 minutes and 3 seconds. 3 to 3 1/4. Good fast-paced match here, though as usual, there was only so much you can get out of having this many people out there at once. Something continues to be a dominant monster when he is, Jake Something continues to be a dominant monster when he is given the chance, though it is hard to imagine Ali losing the title so soon. Something needs to win. Jake Something needs to win something, but for now, he might just have to win a title shot in a scramble match. Diener cuts a promo. He looks like he's turned face now. And then he got interrupted by the grizzled young veterans, and that brought out the time splitters, Alex Shelley and Kushida, setting up Shelley and Kushida versus the GYV. Kushida wins Kushida and Shelley win the match, 12 minutes and 15 seconds. 3 1/4, 3.5. This is another example of a match where the talent involved was enough to carry them to a good result. Shelley continues to have an edge in there, and the heel turn seems rather imminent. For now, though, we're getting to see him do well with his other partner, which is not the kind of result you often see. At the same time, it would be nice for the veterans to win something bigger than one fall in a series against the ABC. And then Hammerstone had a sit-down interview with Tom Hannafin. Really well done. Crazy Steve defended the Digital Media Championship against PCO. Crazy Steve retains the title, 8 minutes and 24 seconds. 2.5, 2 3/4. It was a two-part match with things being split between the match itself and everything between PCO and Khan. They needed a way to keep PCO strong and avoid him winning the title, which they managed to do, albeit with the referee looking rather incompetent. Crazy Steve's nice run continues, and that's another name he can add to his wins list. Eric Young had a moment with Frankie Kazarian. He challenged him to a Full Metal Mayhem match at Rebellion. That's going to be something else. Ash by Elegance, Dana Brooke, went up against Celazia Sparks. Ash wins the match, 235. Dud, worst fight of the night. Nick Nemeth cuts a promo interrupt. Of course, we all know Nick Nemeth will be challenging Moose for the TNA Heavyweight Championship at the Rebellion pay-per-view next month. Main event of the evening, the Knockouts Championship on the line. Jordynne Grace defending against Tasha Steelz. Jordynne Grace successfully defends the title, 11 minutes and 15 seconds. 3 3/4. It was fine, but I wasn't overly feeling this one as Grace kept fighting back and never felt like she was in any serious danger. Then again, there was little reason to believe that Tasha was going to be a threat, as Jordynne Grace is so far ahead of everyone else in the Knockouts division. There is a good chance that Ash by Elegance will be the next challenger, but Grace looked dominant here with Tasha's best stuff not getting her very far. 7 out of 10. They covered a lot of things, and it made for a good enough show, though there was nothing worth going out of your way to see. At the same time, a lot of the big stuff at Rebellion is set, and they enhanced some of it there. With so many weeks before the show, they have time to use a show like this, though the rest of the card needs to start being set up soon. So yeah. 7. This was a 7 out of 10 for me. So with that being said, see if I can set the table for this upcoming week's show coming up. The only thing that I do know is that there's going to be the 8-4-1 match to determine the number one contender for the Knockouts World Championship. Havoc. On one team, you have Havoc, Masha Slamovich, Alicia Edwards, and Jody Threat squaring off against Danny Luna, Zaya Brookside, Ash by Elegance, and Rosemary. We will also hear from the Walking Weapon, Josh Alexander. He's going to cut a promo. Rich Swann and AJ Francis will be explaining their actions. And that's really all I have on the table for next week's, for this upcoming week's Impact Wrestling show on Thursday night. So let's set up, let's quickly get into NXT Level Up. Oop, went the wrong way. I apologize. Hold on one second here. All right, we got it. Started off with Tavion Heights against Saquon Sugars. Tavion Heights wins the match, 5 minutes and 45 seconds. Sugars got to show a little bit here, but more than in-ring, he got to show off some personality. Heights continues to develop as it's becoming fun watching him throw people all around the ring. 2 stars. Jada Parker with OTM in her corner squaring off against Lainey Reed. Jada Parker in 5:15. Reed was given more here than I thought she would get. She has time to develop, but Parker is the one being pushed and the one the crowd is getting behind. 1 3/4 of a star. Main event was Uriah Connors versus Eddie Thorpe. Eddie Thorpe in 6:58. Technically, might have been the best match of the night, but had the least amount of heat. Nice to have Eddie Thorpe back, and it was solid for a return match. 2 1/4 stars. 6 out of 10. The usual from Level Up, and while the match quality might be down a little, I'm enjoying the recent debuts, and I want to see these kids out there taking their baby steps in NXT. As always, an easy show to digest as long as you know what to expect when you watch it. Nothing to go out of your way to see. But debuts are always interesting. And you never know who is going to connect with the audience down the line. So 6 out of 10. And with that, that will put the bow on this edition of Ridiculously Raw. I want to thank you all so very much for tuning in as always. We will be back with you Wednesday night over on MF's channel for another edition of Wednesday Night Madness, NXT, AEW Dynamite, per the norm. And then Friday night, for the first time in over a month, we are going to have a straight up TXN Sports World show. We are going to preview the 2024 Major League Baseball season. We are also going to preview week 1 of the UFL. Remember, the UFL kicks off this weekend, headlined by the big game, the battle of the USFL. It's the USFL champions versus the XFL champions. MF's team, the back-to-back USFL champion Birmingham Stallions, squaring off against the XFL champion Arlington Renegades. And we'll get into the other games as well in week 1 of the UFL. And in the main event, we will continue our coverage of the 2024 NCAA tournament. And I got to tell you, in all the years that I've been watching this tournament, I've been watching this tournament since 1997. And I'm going to be honest with you, and MF, I want you to hear this too. I think this Sweet 16 might be the most stacked Sweet 16 I might have ever seen. This is one of the most stacked Sweet 16s I've ever seen. So MF and I will have to put our heads together as to how we're going to divvy up those. But man, oh man, it's going to be a fun weekend. I can tell you that right now with the regionals coming up. We'll get into all that on a Friday night, and then Saturday night, Cerebral Smack Talk. MF will have it. Friday night SmackDown, AEW Collision. And that leads us to 1 week from tonight. The biggest Ridiculously Raw of the year so far, as we review the final Monday Night Raw before WrestleMania 40 from the Barclays Center in Brooklyn, New York, as we kick off WrestleMania week. This weekend, right around Friday or Saturday or so, actually, it'll be on Friday night, we will have the official announcement of our WrestleMania week programming. So you do not want to miss. And let me tell you, we got a loaded WrestleMania week coming up, and I cannot wait. We cannot wait. So with that, I'll put the bow on this. So until Wednesday night for Wednesday Night Madness over on MF channel, Braceway 95, it's Anthony Florio here for good old MF Michael Fletcher, and in spirit, the phenom Michael Bullock. And of course, always and forever, the first lady of our show, the one and only Twisted Angel, Didi Woodson. You know the routine, everybody. Thumbs up. Talk to you later. Yeah, throw it up, Fortune 4 style. Bye for now, my friends. God bless. Be good to each other. Have a blessed couple of days. And until Wednesday night, for Wednesday Night Madness, you've been watching Ridiculously Raw right here on the Zone 25 on YouTube and StreamYard.com. Remember, my friends, no matter what anyone tells you, beyond anything else, and especially after what we saw tonight, wrestling is indeed actually real. For everybody who has been a part of this one, for now, Anthony Florio, so long, and bye, everybody, bye.